Hello, Mark Larson here for the Drink Azure podcast. Thanks for joining me. So today, having a little homemade kombucha, um, and just kind of chill and kind of say what's on my mind. I try and keep it positive. The title of this episode is "How do you see yourself?" And how you see yourself is of the utmost importance because if you see yourself as being meek and not being able to offer the world something, more than likely you will live up to that thought. If you're somebody that thinks you are a change maker, a leader, can take help people with their lives, you more than likely will be that too. But that's something that nobody seems to address in getting their dreams or anything else. Is how do you see yourself? And I saw myself for many years as that meek person. um, Anybody who knew me then will say I was very quiet. I'm no longer that person, and that person had was good when I was that way at that time period in my life. Now I'm the other way. Um, I want to change the world. I want everybody to catch their dreams, and I just how you see yourself is how um, the life you get. But nobody addresses is like, so how do you really think about it? I mean, most people don't do the deep dive into seeing how they see themselves. Where do you get that? And sometimes you just really have to sit there and think. And sometimes maybe journal, just do a brain dump. It's like, and keep track of your thoughts because your thoughts are very telling on how you see the world and how you, because people are negative or positive or neutral. I used to be more negative than I am now. There's certain things going on, that there's always negative and positive, but I am overall a very upbeat, positive person now, and that also, is telling to the kind of how you see your person or you see yourself, and it is just when if you don't know how you see yourself, that's the very first thing because you can't change something that you don't know. You know what you don't know. And I don't know if I really knew that I was able to change myself when I was younger. I didn't know that I had that power. And it is power. Because, if you've been overweight your whole life, that's your identity. And that's how you see yourself. It makes it very tough to change that. Let me tell you, it is a challenge. I was for many years quite overweight. In fact, I think it was fifth or sixth grade. My parents put me on Weight Watchers because I was like 50 or 60 pounds of weight. And I'm thankful my parents did that. And Weight Watchers was great. And but I've yo-yoed over the years with weight, and I just lost about 45 pounds right now. And thankfully, I'm able to do it. And now I'm doing it differently because I'm more aware. Um, and I'm more aware of what I eat. I do more athletic stuff. When I was younger, I really didn't see myself as athletic. Um, I was kind of scared to do whatever it was. Um, and as I've gotten older and joined the Y and had coaches and stuff for that, and it's like I am aware now that I see myself as athletic, and I like being athletic, but I had to see myself as that because if I had kept seeing myself when I was when I was younger, I still wouldn't have the mindset to go and do stuff. You wouldn't have caught me probably swimming, going to the sauna, steam room, working out, treadmill, any of that stuff because I didn't see myself. I would have saw myself as like that's for somebody else. But now that I see myself doing that and loving it, I'm able to do that. So I become that person that does that, but we need to make sure we are aware of that. You have to be aware, and and it's just like with dreams. I think most people are aware they have dreams. Maybe they long ago got rid of those dreams, because society is like, they want you to be quote unquote responsible and make a living and make sure you always sacrifice your dreams for paying the bills, and to a point that's true, but your dreams are as important as any bill. And I used to be that way. And I'm here to tell you that with Shell's cancers and all the big bills, it comes to a point where you can't pay the bills because they're so huge. Yeah, you can put it on a credit card, but Ask Cheryl and I how that works out. That doesn't work out real well. So it gets to the point where it's like, nah, I'm not going to do the bills first. The bills are going to be there, and I do agree paying the bills. I don't agree paying these exorbitant medical bills. I'm thankful that the people taking care of Cheryl did a great job, but they make it so you really can't unless you want to just the rest of your life be scrounging and sacrificing and not living your dreams, paying those bills. And I think that's what our society up to this point has wanted people to do, because people who catch their dreams are change makers. You know, they catch their dreams. They had the wherewithal. They had the mindset. They had the discipline to do it. And people that do that are more dangerous than people that just are scrounging to pay their bills day in and day out, and basically losing all hope. And when you lose hope, it's like, those dreams weren't that important anyway. Why would I? What, I was just stupid. I was young. I was silly. I didn't really want those dreams. Wrong, you did. God gave you those dreams. He wanted you to do those dreams. And just because our society puts it, especially in the United States, and hopefully that's going to be changing soon with this medical thing, um, and a lot of other things, because there's so many people that are working multiple jobs that aren't able to do their dreams, and they're aware. I think they are aware of being they could be a better person, but just barely. It's just like they see that glimmer over there, that potential. And I think, and I hope I inspire people to say, you can do it. Not easy, but when you catch the dreams, you become, when it's not easy and struggle and all the sacrifice to do it, you become the person that can live that dream. And, but you have to be aware of that you truly can. You have to believe my work. I have believe all over this house. You have to believe you're able to be, and you are that person. That person that's got your dreams is already out there. He's just waiting for you to catch up. I have a friend that I met in Las Vegas, and he said reality just hasn't caught up with me, and there's something to be said about that. But yeah, you have to. How you see yourself is basically the number one importance. Because if you don't, you will never go and do all what it takes to live your dreams and capture your dreams. And that's that's where this whole thing's going. Because I've been trying to think. I've been trying. This is season 4 now, which is amazing to me that I have done that many. And when I started this podcast, I did not see me as a podcaster. I didn't really see me as a speaker either. But I see myself with both of those now, just because I've done it for this many years, and I assume won't be an author. I don't see myself as an author, but God has been telling me a lot that you will be an author. And actually went to a writing class the other day, a couple weeks ago now, and it was one of the most. I was shaking when I got done. Amazing experiences I've ever had, and I'm starting to see myself as a writer, because it's like, that's pretty awesome. And if I can just translate that feeling to the person reading the book, oh my gosh, I still can feel that feeling. And it is awesome. I think there was 8 of us, awesome group. And I had never thought I would go to a writing class or learn how to write a book. But now that I've been researching out there, that I think, that I'm off and am an author, believing that, becoming aware that, yeah, I am an author. And the resources, the people are coming from me from every which way. And it's just like, it's so cool. So that can translate to whatever you're looking into doing. Author, maybe multiple books. I mean, it's cool, but definitely wasn't what I was, before I did the podcast. And I did not see myself as a podcaster. I did not see myself as a speaker. I've actually been potentially invited to speak in front of some people. I've also been asked to teach podcasting. And teaching, I think that might be pretty cool too. I've not seen myself as a teacher. But you have to just, how you see yourself is what brings it about. I have to see myself basically as a teacher, speaker, author in my mind's eye before it really becomes reality. And if you're overweight, you have to kind of see yourself as a skinny person and do the things that skinny people do, or whatever, or the CEO of a business, having your own business. Do you see yourself as a business owner? It's I love being self-employed. I pretty much have always I did that out of college, the typical, and went to work for a company and worked 100-hour weeks, and I was in management, and I did not see myself as that, and that's why I didn't last very long. But I've been numerous things over the years from handyman. But the things I like the most is being my own boss, being self-employed. I see myself as self-employed. And I have people say it's like, it's got to be so hard because you're responsible for your taxes and all that stuff. It's like, once you get into it, it's just second nature. It's just part of doing that, that calling. And it is. But I saw, over the years it's evolved because out of college, saw myself as going to be running a restaurant. That's what the company I went to work for. And I'm thankful for that because I got to see Dallas, and I like Dallas, Texas really well, and some other places. But that didn't last long because I wasn't going to sacrifice my life for 100-hour weeks. I can tell you that. So I came back, and for a little bit of time, I actually was a shoe store manager, which into management and sales. And that's even worse. But I just knew that I had to be on the journey for being my own boss. That's what I saw myself as. And thankfully, I had the beginnings of the discipline to do that. And I actually went and came back, and my dad had asked me if I wanted to farm. And I grew up on a farm, so we had cattle and farming and stuff. So I did that for a lot of years. And actually, Cheryl and I got our own quarter and started moving off to our own place and own ground. And that went for a lot of years. And then my dad and my mom wanted to kind of move to Colorado, where I was started. I was born in Colorado, and so Cheryl and I decided like, nah. And actually, that year we'd had a lot of hail, and it'd been a really trying year. So we just decided that that was going to end. Farming and all that stuff was going to end. So and that was one thing in the farming. I'm pretty handy. And I thought, people always are looking for somebody to do these small jobs. And little did I know, because I didn't see myself as a handyman either, but it ended up being great business because I got so many nice people to help. And then it's interesting, one thing has led to the other, because I had at the top 150 clients, and 99% of them were awesome. Of course, there's always ones that make you really appreciate the 99%, but at least they were very much the exception. But after I saw myself as handyman and all these things I was doing, because I was fixing a lot of things and doing a lot of jobs that I had no idea in my mind that I could do, but I could see myself doing it. And that, that dream, and that dream was good. It exposed me to some people that I probably wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise, that were of wealth, that showed me a whole different world that I had never seen. And it's actually helping me even to this day. But I did the handyman for a lot of years. But towards the end, it was getting, because I had a clientele that was quite old, and it ended up more that I was drinking coffee and talking with these people than doing their jobs. Yeah, I was doing small jobs, but most of the time afterwards, we had coffee and drank. And I didn't see myself as a coffee drinker either, because my dad had tried many years, and I didn't think I liked coffee. It's too bad, because I like coffee really well now. I got to have my coffee every day. But it ended up that the talking, and I got to thinking, because people were asking me so much advice. And that's when in 2018, 2019, I went to San Diego and kind of with a life coaching thing there. And that kind of exposed me to a whole bunch of people in the world that I'm still great friends with. But I didn't see myself as even traveling, it was pretty intimidating. The first time traveling to someplace by myself. And that doesn't bother me at all now. But you have to see yourself doing this. The first time getting on that plane by myself, it's like, well, here we go. And now it's just like, you can have problems anytime, but been very fortunate. It hasn't really been any problems. But one thing has led to another. And what I learned in San Diego was to get coaches. I never really had coaches. I pretty much am a coach if I wanted to be. I guess I'm kind of a coach doing these podcasts. But I heard this awesome dude from Michigan who was great friends with, and yeah, he taught me a lot that I still use to this day. And then after that, got another coach out of California. She was great. And then my coach at the Y, he's the one that kind of has helped me with a lot of things on getting more athletic and more workouts, because a lot of the workouts I really knew but didn't know how to do them. So, but yeah, that's when I started. One thing led to another, and now I see myself as athletic. I see myself as coach. See myself as podcaster, and that's the life I'm getting. And now the next step is to use this platform for good, um, to help people, athletic, whatever, podcasting, being an author. I see myself as all those things now. But you need to see yourself, because if I didn't see myself doing those, more than likely I wouldn't be able to do any of those. Yeah, or I could struggle. I could definitely struggle. And I still am a huge fan of getting coaches. Coaches are, everybody's like they're expensive. No, they're not. They shorten the learning curve. They're awesome. And I will never, ever regret getting the coaches I've had over the years. But, and I would have never thought I'd have a coach. You know, there's so many things that I'm doing now that I would not have thought I ever would do. But in my mind's eye, my mind here, where my mind's at. So, is how I visualize myself now. And now I see myself as the author, the speaker, the podcaster that, like I told this one gal up in Wisconsin Gina, who just dropped her second book. And congratulations on that, Gina. But, she was being really kind. She had this group she said that would help me with writing too. And, which is so nice of her, very cool. But all these things that I don't think, that I never would have visualized myself as being, is how you get your dream. Her dream was to write books. I mean, she does other things too. My dream is to help everybody see the potential that they can get their dreams. Because I believe in Ripple too. Ripple, if you get your dream, which I believe is, one of the best things you can have in this lifetime, all the people with that dream you're doing that you potentially could help. And that there's nothing better than that. If you can have the influence, the wherewithal to help the world become a better place, solve problems, ask questions, ask the tough questions, ask why in the United States we don't have a better healthcare system that people can afford. The healthcare system, I think, is pretty good, but nobody can pretty much afford it. Even with this Affordable Care Act, which is still one of my biggest pet peeves. Um, it's criminal, and I've said that many times, and I'm not going to go any further than that. But if I'm going to be a change maker, they're gonna know my name, and we're going to get some things changed in this country. And right now, there's a lot of things getting changed in this country. Yeah, I'm not going to go there either. But so many people struggling. These people that are on the street, which is entirely embarrassing that this country has so many people that we basically overlook that are homeless. It's terrible. We're supposed to help each other. Why are and I know they have the best of intentions when we feed people. Yes, you need to feed people, and I said that before on this podcast. But we need to have an end game again for these people that are homeless. Just giving them a meal only takes care of them for one meal. We need to have an end game so these people can become part of society. Contributing part of society where they can actually catch their dreams. And there's so many things like that in this country where you can't go to the doctor because you can't afford it. You can't afford food. You can't afford lodging. There's a lot of problems that need to be solved. And I'm looking at every day at ways that I see that other people that are doing it. And I pray that I can get them on this podcast because, yeah, I mean, just like Matt the other day, DeHart. Wow, talk about a change maker. And Dr. Gina. And Dr. Gina is going to be back on the podcast, I think, at the end of March. And she's doing so much for nutrition and helping you, with the glutathione and all these people. And I pray that I continue to attract those kind of people to this podcast. because with their influence, I can, learn how they're doing it, and I can also maybe we can collaborate. And I am also a big thing of collaboration and not competition. I am not a fan of competition. I might be if I'm playing a card game or something like that, but in general in life, I'm not. Um, if it's friendly competition, I guess. But when it gets to life, when you're grinding and trying not to do, your competition is like that's a lose lose, and you're not going to convince me of it any other way than that. So on that, just be aware of how you see yourself, because if you see yourself as great, you will more than likely be great. If you see yourself as just kind of, you're probably going to be that way in life, because it's hard to rise above how you see yourself. And when you rise above, and when you see yourself as great, that's when you catch your dreams. Because more than likely, you're not going to catch your dreams when you're just existing. And yeah. So on that, I'm going to end that. But just see yourself as great, because you are great. Because God put you on this earth for. He has all kinds of things He wants you to do, and I guarantee you that. And He will, if you just listen, He will tell you, show you the way of the things He wants you to do, day in and day out. Sometimes moment by moment, and and it's really great. And life's great when you see yourself as great too. And it's not ego; it's just confidence. Because ego, like God says, where there's ego, there's no love, and can't be love. Ego is all you've got, and ego usually means downfall. Confidence means you're going to the stars, you're going to the moon. So be confident. Just be confident that you have whatever this is you want. That you're athletic, you're sleek, you're dressed great. That you're going to make a difference in the world, because the world is waiting for you. And if you don't think there's an audience out there waiting for you, there are. These people are just waiting for you to put your voice out there. And that's coming from me, somebody that never spoke hardly a word when I was younger. So on that, I'm going to end this episode of the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining me, and thank you. I appreciate everybody that joins in and tells people about this podcast. Get more ripple going in this world. So on that, take care. Talk soon.